All right, Lee. So there's been some coaching changes going on in the league. Very interesting. The first one, obviously, about. New Orleans Saints have not hired their coach yet, but Kellen Moore is supposed to be like the guy who they're going to hire. One thing I'm happy about, seeing with the Super Bowl and this whole week, the media week and all that stuff like that, you know, I'm happy that they didn't try to interview. I mean, this is his second interview with them, right? But I'm happy that they are not interviewing him this week. Stay away from this dude. I need this dude focused, man. I need him focused on the task at hand. The task is at hand. I need him to be focused. I don't need him going out on interviews, calls, and going to dinner and talking to the Saints and all this. And I don't need all of that. He needs to be focused. And one thing, with Kellen, right? Obviously from when he was in Dallas and he was in San Diego last year. This dude liked to throw the ball, right? That was his MO. Now coming to the Eagles, you look like he kind of, once you got Saquon Barkley, you got to run the ball. So he kind of switch it up a little bit, and that's kind of heavy on that. I'm going to be interesting to see if he does get this job. If he gets this job, what is he going to do in New Orleans? Is he going to keep that mantra? I mean, of course, you don't have a running back like Saquon Barkley, but you got Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara.
Alvin Kamara is kind of still he's a little up there in age, but injury prone at this point in his career. It'll be interesting to see what he is going to do as far as is he going to go back to Kellen? The air it out, Kellen, or he gonna keep it on the ground, try to balance it out, whatever. That's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I hope this is what I really hope. I hope he don't get that job. I hope he don't get the job. I mean, I know he wants a head coaching job, right? But I hope he don't get the job because, I mean, poor Jalen, man. I mean, this will be 4 coordinators in 4 years. 4 coordinators in 4 years, man. The dude gonna be going through another coordinator, and don't let it go back to Sirianni trying to call the plays. The season over. Okay, so if Kellen could stay consistent and he could just stay there, you know, it's gonna be some more openings next year. I mean, it's gonna be some more openings. So look forward to that. But my gut feeling is right now, I think he's gone. I think it's gonna be like if it was up to me, I'd say 80% Kellen Moore is going to leave. I think this interview is just like a formality. Bam, bam, bam. Get your coaching staff and all that, build it out and that kind of thing, and then we're going to hire him and go. However, he's walking into something in New Orleans because apparently they just had a scandal with some archbishop in New Orleans where it was some sort of scandal. It was a scandal that was going on, and some of the coaches actually from New Orleans or executives in New Orleans was actually a part of this, like kind of a little cover up kind of thing. They didn't want these emails to get out to the public. So that was released today. I was reading that was released today. So Kellen will be walking into a lot, man. If I see that and I'm a coach, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to deal with this. I don't know if I want to be walking into a scandal right off the bat. I know he's ready to be a coach, but hey, man, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I that's something to walk into.
So, you made a statement when it came to Jalen Hurts, and you said over the past 4 or 5 years, he's had a
Yeah,
different
four.
coordinator, right?
Yeah, different coordinators.
Uh,
Yeah.
you've vastly undersold that, right? Because I had to look it up. I'm listening to you, and when you made that note, I quickly went in and I did just a quick check. Because if
Mm-hmm.
memory serves me right, I knew it was worse than that. It's worse than that, right? So if you go back to
Yeah.
his college years, okay? So from college all the way up to now, spanning 9 years, Jalen Hurts has had 10 different offensive coordinators. He has never had the same offensive coordinator back to back,
Man,
back to back
that's tough.
years.
Man,
So that it came up when I was watching, I think NFL Live or one of those shows the other day, and they brought it up. It was just a quick blurb.
Right.
And I had to reassess. I really had to reassess and take the critical thinking I had towards Jalen and really take into inventory the predicament that he's been in year in and year out.
Yeah, and
Not
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of quarterbacks can sustain the amount of success that Jalen Hurts has had over the years. People will debate, well, it's not that great. Well, he's going to a second Super Bowl.
Second
So
Super Bowl.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for one. Yes, you can say Saquon Barkley is the catalyst for this season, and he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts is the quarterback, and he had to put the team in the right position at the right moments to capitalize on a lot of those big plays as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Protecting the ball and all that stuff. So, all that being said, dealing with turnover after turnover from a coaching perspective, year after year after year, never throwing anyone under the bus
Right.
per se,
Right.
right? And really just being the consummate professional while still enacting a level of elite performance,
Right.
one would say.
Right.
And that is debatable. Some would say, well, he had a stretch, he didn't throw for this many yards or
Yeah. Yeah.
didn't throw this many touchdowns. Again, everything is in flux for this guy.
Right.
Every year, he's having to learn practically a new offense every year
Think about that.
for 9 years.
Think
So
about that.
that being said, I've developed a better appreciation for Jalen and what he's had to endure and the type of success he's been able to accrue up until this point. But to your point, when it comes down now to the
Kellen.
coach, Kellen Moore, and as much as you're an Eagles fan, you wanted to say you want Jalen to have that level of consistency. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
The Saints still haven't filled that head coaching position.
Right.
There's only one person they're waiting on.
Yeah.
There's only one person they're waiting on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're not waiting on Nagy from the Chiefs.
Right.
They're not looking at that guy.
Yeah.
They're not looking at Spagnuolo
Right.
from the Chiefs.
Right.
They want Kellen Moore. And if I was a betting man, I would say there's already a deal in principle in place.
Yeah.
A verbal agreement that as soon as his season is over, whatever comes after the Super Bowl,
right,
shortly after that, probably the next day, Kellen Moore is going to be announced as the new head coach for the New Orleans Saints.
I definitely could see that. If you think about this, the last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, it was in Arizona, right? And the coach, Arizona, man, I keep forgetting this dude's name, man.
Gannon,
right?
Yeah.
Gannon stayed in Arizona. I mean, and I think Kellen is going to do the same thing. He was in Arizona. You know, they got fined for tampering with Gannon. You know, previously to the season ending and all that stuff like that. And you're right. It's the same thing with Kellen Moore. He's gonna just stay in New Orleans. He's gonna be the New Orleans head coach, and Jalen is gonna have to go through. This is the one caveat. I need Nick Sirianni. Nick, I need you to listen to me right now. Lock in with me, Nick. Lock in with me, Nick, right here. Nick, please, Nick, I'm begging you. Get an offensive coordinator who can call plays and who has ingenuity and who is thinking outside the box. Nick, please, do not try to take this on, Nick. I'm telling you right now, don't take this on. That's all I got for Nick, man. That's it. Other than that, we good. But yeah, Kellen Moore is gone, man. I definitely, that's a hard pill to swallow for Jalen because, like you say, I mean, think about that. A whole new scheme. All these coaches coming in, and if they call in the plays, they coming in with a whole new scheme, new calls, new ways to do things. I mean, I know a lot of these plays are the same, but they have different calls, different hot reads, different audibles, everything.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. So, yeah, man.
So as an Eagle fan, just brace yourself. It's bound to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
To your point about Sirianni, it's because of the type of coach he is. He's not an offensive mastermind. He's not a Ben Johnson. He's not a McVay. He's not a Andy Reid. He has his own skill sets, of course, that has, again, gotten them to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
But part of his job now is identifying talent, bringing it in, and probably, and I'm hoping that he's done this or has learned to do this, but has started to cultivate talent internally so that they can come up within the organization instead of always having to pull somebody from the outside. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah. Definitely see what's up. Yeah. So I know you wanted to talk about a couple coordinators and stuff that been on the move.
Yeah, we've had a couple. We've had a couple over the past couple of days.
Yeah.
I want to start with one.
Okay.
Right. I'll start with one that it's a little disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Because of the coach, who the coach is.
Yeah.
What his resume entails and the position that he was given.
Yeah.
Right. And that's Eric Bieniemy. So just a couple of days ago, I think on February 1st, he was hired by Ben Johnson and his staff as the running backs coach for the Chicago Bears. You got this guy, Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and you have a lot of people out there who will disparage that, saying, well, Andy Reid was running the offense. I don't care.
Right.
You've had a lot of other coaches on other teams who have been given opportunities to be head coaches when they weren't really calling the plays.
That's right.
And I've seen it firsthand with the Rams and McVay. McVay calls all of his plays.
Right.
Yet every offensive coordinator that he has had since he's come in the league,
right,
has left and been a coach and their head coach. Liam Cohen was an offensive coordinator one time for the Rams.
Wow.
Or I think he was a quarterback's coach, but he was on the offensive side of the ball. He's now a head coach.
That's crazy.
The guy for Cincinnati, he was offensive coordinator for the Rams.
Yeah.
He's now a head coach. The guy from Green Bay, he was offensive coordinator for the Rams under McVay. He's now a head coach. All of these guys, none of them called plays.
Right.
But they're head coach. So I'm just saying, to see Eric Bieniemy go from having that type of success with the Chiefs, leaving, I think he went to the Reds, to Washington.
Right. Yeah, he was there.
And that was a debacle because ownership was horrible. The front office was horrible.
Yeah. That whole thing was
going right. And we talked, and you and I in our later podcast, we talked about what constitutes organizational success.
Right. Yes.
At that time, the Commanders had none of it. So you couldn't expect Bieniemy to come in and really make an impact on that team.
It's a no-win situation, man.
It was a no-win.
Yeah.
So after that, he goes to UCLA, goes to college, offensive coordinator there, has some success. And now in his first stint back, he's a running backs coach. Now, I say that. Now let's look at some of the other hires. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. One second.
Yeah. Okay.
Before you go to the other hires, I just got to say one thing about Bieniemy. If I was him, I mean, he must be really wanted to be back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because that's a slap in the face, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you talking about, you go from offensive coordinator, and you mean to tell me that you a running backs coach? Man, that's the height. That's right there is the height of like being overlooked. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand that. I don't understand how you could go from being an offensive coordinator for two teams and winning Super Bowls and stuff. And like you say, those other coaches went on to be head coaches that was under McVay. And this dude coming back, this must be some other plan. It's something that I don't know. It's something we don't know.
The disappointing part about all of this is when we get into some of the other hires, you'll get where I'm coming from. You have a good bit of other teams who have openings at the offensive coordinator position.
Right.
He's overlooked.
Decent point.
He's overlooked. You have the Raiders, you have the Jets, you have the Bears themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't understand
Man.
And maybe it's something you and we don't know.
Yeah, 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 gotta be.
Maybe it's Eric Bieniemy himself. Maybe he just doesn't have the chops. I find that hard to believe,
Yeah, yeah,
but who knows?
yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway,
Obviously, there's something about being able to sell yourself.
right. Yeah.
You go in corporate America, you have your resume looks great, but then when you get into the interview, you bomb the interview,
You bumble and stumble. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That,
Maybe
that
I
could
don't
be the
know.
thing.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
not a good interviewer. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man. Whew. Anyway, yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah. So another hire we have the Dallas Cowboys. They got a offensive coordinator for Schottenheimer, right? Who did they get? They got a guy named Clayton Adams.
Who is that?
Clayton Adams. Yeah.
He sound like he was a museum, like he run a museum or something. Clayton Adams. I don't even know. I really don't know this guy. Clayton Adams. I never heard that name before in my life.
Yeah, he was with the Cardinals the past 2 seasons after spending, I think, the previous four with Indianapolis.
Okay, okay. So
Right.
I see I see. So he was with Gannon and Sirianni in Indianapolis, and so when they left and went over to the Eagles, that's yeah. So they knew each other from that. So Gannon brought him over there. And now I still don't.
Where's the connection with Brian Schottenheimer? Because he's with Dallas now.
That is true. I don't
Don't know.
understand that.
Don't know. But
That's crazy, man.
yeah, that's his lineage right now. He was with those two franchises. Before that, he was a college assistant for 14 years at Boise State. So we'll see. It could be one of those unknowns or a diamond in the rough type of situation. But again, that could have been a position I think the enemy could have fulfilled.
Yeah, we could have.
Right? That's one.
I'm happy, Dallas. I'm happy. That don't scare me at all. So I'm glad. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one. And then you have the Jets
Yeah,
with Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn.
They
Yeah,
hired a guy by the name of Tanner Egstrom. I don't know who that is either.
that,
There's not a lot about him, but he's the new offensive coordinator, and they got a pass game coordinator as well, Scott Turner. Now, Scott Turner is the son of Norv Turner,
okay.
who
Good lineage.
Dallas Cowboys should know very,
Mm-hmm.
very well.
Yeah.
Norv
Yep.
Turner was the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys back when they were winning Super Bowls,
Right. Right.
about
Right.
some
Right.
30
Right.
odd years ago.
Yeah.
Interesting why Dallas probably wouldn't have gone after Scott Turner.
After him, you would have thought.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 That's what the Jets are doing. But Egstrom, I'm trying to look up what his resume is, but I'm not
Yeah.
seeing a lot. He's a first time offensive coordinator.
So this is first time.
Oh, he came from the Lions. He was with
Okay.
the Detroit
Okay.
Lions.
So he was with Glenn over there. Okay.
He was
Okay.
he was with Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
he's
he
some
just
familiarity, right? People
yeah.
who we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. A lot of these guys getting opportunities, it's when you look at it from, if you a coach and you in the league and, say you a coordinator or you an assistant coordinator or you just there, it's good to really, connect with with the offensive coordinator, defensive, if depend, because everybody in there want to move up the line at some point, and it's good that these guys have relationships that they kind of feel comfortable with and that kind of thing. But a lot of these guys getting chances, man, that like guys like Eric Bieniemy that's been around for a long time are not getting these opportunities and not getting these chances. And I guess if say you was to get a job, right? And then, you say, hey, Lincoln, I want you to be da 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 da. For me, it's familiarity, right? So, you going with that over, man, that's tough though, man. I
Well,
can't even, I don't know.
you onto something because just like in corporate America, I've seen it time and time again where you have a VP or a senior director just hired. He comes in and he brings in for all of his managers, he brings in people that he's familiar
People
with
that know. Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not different, particularly in NFL. It's a relationship based business.
That's true. Yeah.
going back to Bieniemy, maybe he's just not building the right relationships. Obviously, it's not a maybe.
Right,
Obviously,
right, right.
he is probably one of those guys. He's an introvert. He's
Mm-hmm.
probably really rough around the edges. You can see some of that in his temperament,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he comes off a little bit hard and he lacks probably a little bit of emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard stories from LaShawn McCoy and some of those other guys who were at Kansas City when he was there, and they didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about him,
Well,
right?
there you go.
And so you hear those type of things, and you kind of trying to put the pieces together. You don't see a lot of coaches that are extending opportunities to him, and obviously it has to be because he's just probably not good at building those relationships, and
That's
it's kind of coming back to bite him.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
really good point. That's a really good point, and I think I think you hit it on the head with that one because he really, for him to have gone these different places and to have even been in the league, you would think even if you're not on the same team, but you would still build relationship, offensive coordinator to offensive coordinator. You know, you guys get together. If you somewhere, I call you up, and we're not trying to exchange plays, but we just getting to know each other, and we kind of hit it off because we got the same position. And you're right. He probably really didn't build relationships because you jog my memory when he was in Washington. It was the same thing. The players did not like this dude. They despised him. It was like this dude gotta go.
right.
So that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of coaches that are like that with players, like, Parcells. Some of the players didn't get along with him, but you had some that really did. But
Right.
regardless, you have coaches that they would put fall on the sword for Parcells. Parcells built those relationships with the right people,
Right. With the right people. That's it.
and you have to know how to do that. I don't think, for whatever reason, Bieniemy hasn't learned how to cultivate those right relationships,
Mm-hmm.
so that would help. It'll help him to progress.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. People, it's the same thing in corporate America. I've
You're
seen
right.
it time and time again.
Exact same.
People, you got some people who have the mindset, if I just keep my head down and I do a good job, people will acknowledge me. It doesn't work that way. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to do a good job. Yes, you want to be selling what you do, but you have to go out of your way and make relationships so that when you're not in the room, the
Right.
right people are advocating for you.
Man, dude, when you say corporate America, I got an instance. This is like real world instance. So, okay, working for the banks and stuff, right? So the bank CEO, right? The way how he brought me in to start working with them was because we had a relationship. It wasn't because I had experience in banking.
No,
I had zero experience
right,
in banking, nothing, right? And it was because we had a relationship. He was like, "I want to bring you in, and I want
right,
to put you over this, et cetera, et cetera." Hey, and there was people in the organization that was like, "How this dude coming in?" It was like,
right,
"How he
right,
coming in and
right.
get this position?" Right? And that's the same thing, man. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
build relationships. People are not going to go to bat. They're not going to go to bat for you
Right.
if they don't like you,
That's right. That's right.
right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care how great you are at what you do. You got to have a few people, the right people that actually like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how you start to progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You spot on with that, man. Spot on with that. So
So who else we got? I think there's one more. So we talked about the Jets, Raiders. Thought I
Raiders.
had it up. Yeah, Raiders, right? So the Raiders, they hired. Oh, we just talked about that. Chip Kelly, right? We just talked about that. So I know you went on your rant. You did your rant. But let me talk about Chip, because I'm not a fan of Chip. I didn't like how he handled the Eagles when he was there. What was the name of that wide receiver?
Macklin,
No, 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 no,
Deshaun
no, no,
Jackson,
no. They're the good ones. I'm talking about the other
Freddie
guy.
Mitchell.
Not even Freddie.
Not Freddie.
Not Freddie.
Pinkston.
No, that's Andy Reid. I think Cooper was in it. Cooper.
Oh, Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper. Remember that situation? Remember
Yeah.
that situation?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Right?
that. Yeah.
At the I think it was at a It was at a music festival or some
Some
sort of
music
concert,
festival. Yeah.
right? And he said something or said a thing that he
Yeah.
shouldn't have said.
Right.
And look, Riley Cooper is one of the most average wide receivers you would ever see,
Below average.
below average.
Yeah.
But what was so interesting was Chip Kelly kept him, got rid of Deshaun Jackson, got rid, got rid of Macklin,
Yeah.
got rid of McCoy.
McCoy. Yes.
Vic, you got to sit, right?
Man.
I'm gonna keep the white wide receiver who blurting out racial slurs. I'm gonna keep that.
Right.
I'm gonna
This
keep
my
it.
guy.
This
This
is my
my
guy.
guy right here. Oh, man.
So Chip, he made some really bad decisions, and he paid a hefty price. Like, well, even after that, I think he ended up with the 49ers,
Yeah.
and
Man.
I was loving that. I mean,
Yeah.
49ers were horrible, right?
Just give it to Chip, man.
And
Give it to
so
Chip.
after one stint with the 49ers, I think they went 2-14. And then he went off to college, and this is his first time back since then. I gotta say this because he just came off of a championship run
Yeah.
with Ohio State,
Yeah.
and they won the championship, and they were able to have that success. By a large part of that was because of him.
Yeah. I agree.
He, for all of his faults,
Yeah.
particularly as a head coach,
Yeah.
he is a good offensive coordinator.
With the caveat, he's a good offensive coordinator for college players. I have yet to see him, and I'm going to be watching closely
Yeah,
to see how it turns out in out there in Las Vegas. I don't have a good feeling about it. I really don't. I know he don't have all the power that he did have in Philly, like because he put the GM in a closet.
he did.
Literally,
He did. Was Howie there?
I was Howie. He put Howie in a closet.
Oh,
He
that's
say,
right.
"Don't you make no decision, none. You go in the closet." And so I'm interested. Now I know Pete Carroll is the head coach and got all the decision making power, but obviously he's going to have his input on the offense and probably personnel as well. Because he's going to, in order to run the scheme, I need this kind of da 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 da. So I will reserve my judgment. But let me see. Okay, this is Monday, February 3rd, 15 p.m. 25. I'm saying this right now. Chip Kelly gonna bomb. He gonna bomb. I'm telling you, that's Chip, man. That's Chip. I tell you, he's good for college now. He's good for college. I agree with you on that. He's good for college because these are young guys that he could tell them what to do. They trying to get to the league, et cetera, and they're gonna listen and boom, 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 boom. This is a different game when you get to the NFL. You got to know how to deal with these guys, and so we'll see. I reserve my judgment. We'll see. We'll see.
Regardless,
Yeah.
as a Michigan fan,
Right.
I am happy he's with the Raiders. I'm happy, even though we beat them.
Right.
I felt that after we beat them, because the Ohio State head coach, he still had a tight rein on the offense.
Yeah.
And he's an extremely risk averse coach, and that put them in a lot of problems.
Right.
After they lost to Michigan, you could see the switch, and you can see him giving up the autonomy of the offense to Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly took that offense to another level, and they were able to go on that run into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I was worried that was going to carry over into the next season.
Yeah.
Not no more.
Not no more. That's over.
More. So
that's
I'm
done.
good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well,
good.
All I could say is Godspeed for him. Yeah. So I will be watching intently at that one to see what to see what's going on, man. So
okay. So I think we're done with the coaches, and this was going to be a short one today, but. If you notice, I'm not wearing no Rams paraphernalia.
I see what's going on, man.
And I got my black hat on.
Right. What's going on?
I'm in mourning right now. No. This is serious.
Okay. What you got, man?
There's a report that's coming out.
Right.
It just started today.
Yeah.
And it's talking about the Rams are interested in trading Cooper Kupp.
What?
Yeah.
Don't. Okay. Go ahead.
I understand he's not the Cooper Kupp that of old, the
Right.
Cooper Kupp that won the Super Bowl. You could tell that there's a
Right.
step that was lost,
Yeah.
and the production last season wasn't there
Yeah.
as we are accustomed to. I get all of that, but his locker room presence, what he brings to the offense from the intangibles, blocking
Mm-hmm.
and identifying the defense, being able to take coverages away from Puka, I think that still holds a lot of significance. I trust Les Snead more than more than I trust almost any other GM, because he's made a lot of really, really good decisions. Not all of them, but a lot of
Right.
good decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know McVay is a hell of a coach, and he'll make it work. But I just feel, as a Ram fan, that Cooper Kupp should have the Aaron Donald treatment.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
he's homegrown.
Yeah.
We drafted him. We've watched him grow, right? We've watched him elevate his game, and he helped us win a Super Bowl. I think he should retire around. I can't stomach him wearing another team's jersey.
Man. Yeah.
So that I'm sad today, because that report came out, and they're talking about his exit interview, and they said there was a quote that he made saying he still wants to play football.
Oh, wow.
That was his quote. So we'll see. We'll see.
Man, that's the same kind of feeling I had, man, when Brian Dawkins left the Eagles and he was playing in Denver.
That's
That was
right.
that was the weirdest thing I ever seen in my life, man. I couldn't even. Oh man, yeah, that was tough.
The one player move that hurt me the most to this day.
Who was that?
He was my favorite Ram up until he did this.
Marshall Faulk.
No. Marshall is up there, but this dude was even more so than Marshall, because we drafted him.
Okay.
That's Isaac Bruce.
Bruce.
When
Yeah.
Bruce left,
Yeah.
and he played his final season with the 49ers.
No, that's a dagger, man.
Let me
That's
tell
a
you something.
dagger.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Let me tell you
Why
something.
would you do that? No
To
way.
this day, I can't even look at him.
No, man. What, man? I was gonna rip that con. I was gonna be like, no, I retire right now. They're just retiring. There's no way.
How could you even put that jersey on?
That's what I'm saying, man.
So, I couldn't believe it.
Boundaries that you
I
gotta
couldn't
have.
believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Yeah. Now that one right there, that's a serious dagger right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a dagger, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Isaac Bruce, the greatest show on turf. Torrey Holt. Didn't Torrey Holt? Isn't he was in the Hall of Fame?
He's still a finalist. He's been a finalist for the
He's
last
a finalist.
couple of
Okay,
turns.
yeah, I remember.
He's the only one out off of that team that's not in.
What?
So we have Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
We have Isaac Bruce. We have Marshall Faulk. We have Orlando Pace.
Yes.
Holt's not in yet.
Holt is not in. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, without Holt, man, Holt was. I mean, come on. I mean, Isaac Bruce and Holt together. Wow.
Yeah. He caught a Super Bowl. He caught a touchdown in that Super Bowl.
That's right. So who? I mean, why would you think he's? I mean, what's
I don't
going
know,
on?
and because he has the stats to back it up too. I think he has a record for most consecutive. Well, he did. He at one point he held the record for the most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
So he has the production, especially during a time when the offensive boom wasn't there.
Right.
The rules weren't in place to safeguard the wide receiver or the quarterback at that time.
Right.
You could bump and run from the line of scrimmage all the way down 15, 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tougher to generate yards and touchdowns as a receiver and a quarterback during that time. And his stats matched up with just about anyone.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know. I don't know why they haven't put him in yet, but he has made it. He has been a finalist the past 3-4 years.
Is he in it again this year?
He's in there again this year.
Wow. Okay.
But
Maybe this might be his year, man.
we'll
This
see.
might be his
I
year.
hope so. I hope so
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, he deserve it. He
Deserves
deserve it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely deserve it. Yeah, man. All right. So we'll be back on this week,
Yep. I think Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we got Doc
We'll
coming in.
do
So
our Super Bowl predictions.
yes.
Get
So
that squared away, and
yeah.
I think we got some good stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Waiting for it.
All right.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, I
All right,
think
man.
that's all. If anything else comes up, we'll put another one up. But
Yeah.
these coaching moves, they come in fast, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not all of I don't think all of the staffing is complete 100%.
Right.
Anything
Yeah.
else comes up, we'll just put something on and get the news out there.
Yeah, man. Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Later.